Hi, America. My name is Susie McCauley. I want to talk to every individual out there today to say how much you are a part of our world and how important you are. Nobody should bully you into voting for who you want to vote for. Whether you're Democrat or Republican or liberal, you need to follow your heart. Not everybody knows what's important to you. And what's important to you, you owe nobody an explanation. But I also want to give you a little bit of help here in understanding television. TV is not the way it should be run. And I want to explain to you that when you're an anchor or a TV personality, you actually go through training for TV. I was trained by an institution here in Dallas that taught me right from wrong and how to act on TV. First of all, our opinions are not important. We are either here to report the news or we're here to talk about something positive and uplifting. Now, for the first time since I've been off of TV for a while, I have definitely spoken my mind because I've never been able to do that ever in my life. But I can tell you, going upon TV and my podcast, my opinion will never come out because you matter to me as the viewer. I also want to say to you, and I want to speak to the late night show host. I want to speak to Seth Meyer, to Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon. I'm not going to lump James Corden into this because he's the only one who has remained entertaining us like a night show should be doing. These night show hosts have turned into the news, and we hear negative all day long. And I don't get any entertainment out of it anymore. I don't know about you guys, but I'd actually like politics taken out of the late night shows and complete entertainment, celebrities, and fun games and things that make us laugh and skits that make us laugh like the good old days from Johnny Carson. And actually James Corden is doing that. So thank you, James, so much for keeping America laughing and doing the right thing and staying away from the politics. But Seth, you're a full news show. And really, I think we've had enough. We want to see your talent. That's what we love you from is Saturday Night Live. You're a wonderful person. Jimmy Fallon, you're wonderful. And Jimmy Kimmel, you're wonderful. You're full of such amazing talent and people that can keep us entertained. We need that right now. And you know better about putting your opinion in on your TV show. It just lessens your viewers and you turn people off and nobody wants to watch you. And sooner or later, you lose your viewership and you lose your show and you even lose some of your advertisers. You know I speak the truth. Then I want to address the anchors, such as someone that I really like is, well, Mr. Cuomo. You know, I, I, I've always liked, Chris Cuomo and always had respect for him when he was on Good Morning America. And, I just think Don Lemon and I can name a handful of these guys on all the stations. Your opinions should not be involved in your job. Please remember how you started out. Remember how important it was that you simply report the news and let your opinions go by the wayside because your opinions are not supposed to matter. Let me give you an example. When I was training for television, I trained underneath someone who's probably one of the best anchor trainers in the country here in Dallas Fort Worth. But she was actually training me for my own TV show, which I had for 5 years. And what I want to say to you is that she said, "What is something that you don't like, Susie?" And I said, "Well, she says, name something really simple." And I said, "I don't like dark fingernail polish." And she said, "Well, don't ever tell anyone that you don't like dark fingernail polish because half of your audience that does like it won't watch you." I said, "Are you kidding me?" She said, "What you have to remember, Susie, is to be engaging and careful and care for your audience. Care for the people of all race, color, and creed. Care for the people because you're there to entertain them. You're there to report news. You are there for the people. Build that trust with them. Let them know that whatever is important to them is important to you. Care." Well, we haven't had that. I was completely Blindsided by Savannah Guthrie, just all American sweetheart Savannah, when she came at Donald Trump. That was supposed to be a town hall. And all those people sitting behind there and all the people watching really wanted to hear what he was going to do for our country. And Savannah took 20 minutes of that program away from us to hear what we needed to hear, and she made it about herself. And I was very disappointed because this is an anchor, just like Chris Cuomo, that I have grown to truly love and respect. And I still do, but I'm heartbroken because I would have given $1 million to be the anchor sitting there talking to President Trump and giving the American people an opportunity to speak and listen to what he had to say. Even if I was interviewing Joe Biden, I would have been respectful. See, our opinions are not supposed to matter to you as an anchor or a TV personality. We're here to entertain or report the news to all of you. Liberals, Democrats, and Republicans are people who just don't really have a message. We're here for you. That is so important because you know what? I'm not in your shoes. I don't know what you're feeling. I just want to reach out and make your day or your night. That is what is important to me. Working for a network and respecting their rules and regulations and not grandstanding as an anchor or grandstanding as a TV personality. I want to say this to you all that you are important and you matter. And I am a friendly advocate. Maybe you don't like who I'm voting for, and I respect that. And I'd love to listen to what's important to you. But I think what's even more important is that you count as an individual, no matter who you are. And I also want to say this that nobody is better than the next person, rich or poor. We are all the same. If the world was to end tomorrow, we would all be in it together. And that's what's happening now. I also want to say thank you to Hoda Kotb, to Al Roker, for being always fair on air. Amy Robach, thank you. There's just some anchors out there that have the ability to bring peace to us in watching the news or watching television. You know, they are just people. Lester Holt is another one. These this is an example of how people should act on television, James Corden including. These are people that care about you. They want you to smile. They want you to get the right news, but they keep their opinions to themselves. And they've learned to do that. They've been trained to do that because truly you can take your opinions outside your job, but inside your job, you're supposed to be objective. We haven't had that. And I would love to see the future TV personalities and anchors come through to stay objective because all of you out there matter, each and every one of you. Nobody should be beating up on Christy Alley or Bette Midler for who they're voting for. They really shouldn't. It's their right to say what they need to without anybody interfering in that. It's their right. And I have to say, you know, people downgraded The Rock for voting for Biden. But why? This is his reasoning. You have to let people have their reason. You know, James Wood, leave him alone. You have to understand that Hollywood is going to vote. Even though they're famous, they're still people like you and I. And that's why being a reporter or a TV personality is so important. The power of these jobs and the responsibility that these people hold is so important because it's the difference of bringing peace or war. And we have seen anchors literally go rogue. I want to say this. I would have given $1 million to be sitting in Savannah Guthrie's place. I would have been very responsible towards the American people. I would have not grandstand. I would not have tried to be this strong woman trying to beat somebody else down. Being a strong person is actually holding in your feelings and being able to take care of business by being a professional. And that's what it's about. So I hope that all of you understand how important it is that our media, from Twitter to Facebook to YouTube, needs to be responsible for what they post. They also need to be fair and objective. There are two people running for office right now. They should get equal time. And the things, the memes and all those things, they should be blocking and taking down and keeping peace and harmony in our world. Because you know what, guys? We are all in this together and we're all Americans. What you believe in is what your heart is, and nobody should tear that down. Whether you're straight or gay or bisexual, whatever it is, we're all God's children and we're all here together. I've had a lot of people attack me for voting for people and I've had to block them. And it's made me really sad because I didn't want to argue with them. Nobody's a troll for voting for who they want to vote for. And the haters will hate. But maybe through media and getting these anchors and late night TV show hosts to really stop the rhetoric and bring peace and harmony, their viewership would go up so much more. And being respectful to all of you. I'll be working hard to get my programming developed, and I promise you, in all that I do, from television to products to podcast, every one of you will be respected for your beliefs. And I promise you one thing, you'll be in a happy place being around me because I care about you. And you know what? We'll get through this. We'll get through this together. And remember one thing, home is the light within your heart. Never feel that you are far or left out or that you're different. It's just you're unique and special. And you and your voice should be counted. So vote. Turn off the media that upsets you, because the one thing is if you do turn off these shows, their viewership will go down and their shows will be off the air. And Twitter and Facebook and YouTube will have no more advertisers. So hopefully they will turn around and think of you and me and be objective for all of us and bringing the rest of this election to a peaceful resolve. In the meantime, guys, have a good evening. Thank you for listening. And tune out the media if it's stressing you out, because you have better things to do. You've got your work, your family, and most of all, you have a life to live. God bless, and I love you. Good night.